So the House Select Committee released text messages sent on January 6th to Mark Meadows by Donald Trump's allies and family members, begging him to tell Donald Trump to stop what was going on at the U.S. Capitol. And that, friends, reinforces and reaffirms that Donald Trump was indeed responsible for what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So let's talk about some of the text messages received by Mark Meadows on January 6th that were just released by the House Select Committee. And I'm going to talk in a minute about the Jim Jordan text. But let me start with this. The text messages were coming fast and furious to Mark Meadows during an official congressional proceeding, the counting of the Electoral College votes. First, Donald Trump launched an attack on the Capitol. He told his supporters, go down there and fight like hell or you won't have a country anymore. And after he launched that attack, it seems like all of Donald Trump's allies, his supporters, like Fox News hosts, Republicans in Congress, and yes, Donald Trump's own son, reached out to Mark Meadows, urging him, begging with him, pleading with him to tell Donald Trump to put an end to the attack that was ongoing at the Capitol. Tell your supporters to stop. Tell them to go home. And Donald Trump refused. For more than 3 hours, Donald Trump refused to end the attack on the U.S. Capitol by his supporters. Let's be clear about this. Donald Trump obstructed an official congressional proceeding. And that is a federal felony. Now, let's turn to one text in particular, one from Jim Jordan. Here's how NBC News is reporting it. Headline, GOP Representative Jim Jordan confirms January 6 panel released text message he sent to Meadows. And that article begins, Representative Jim Jordan's office confirmed Wednesday that the Ohio Republican was one of the lawmakers whose text messages to then White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows were released this week by the Congressional Committee investigating the January 6 attack on the Capitol. The text message from Jordan to Meadows, released by the committee on Monday, read, on January 6, 2021, Vice President Mike Pence, as President of the Senate, should call out all electoral votes that he believes are unconstitutional as no electoral votes at all. And Jim Jordan made this statement, urging Mike Pence to just throw out votes that, let's be clear, were going to be cast for Joe Biden. He made this statement after Donald Trump's own Attorney General Bill Barr said there was no fraud undermining Joe Biden's win. Jim Jordan made this statement urging Mike Pence to throw out Electoral College votes after, quote, Trump's own officials say 2020 was America's most secure election in history. Jim Jordan made this statement urging Mike Pence to throw out votes after, quote, the Department of Homeland Security calls the election the most secure in American history. Jim Jordan made this statement after Donald Trump's own officials and administration vouched for the validity and legitimacy of the election results. But Jim Jordan just said, don't care, throw them out. apparently based on false claims, baseless claims, debunked claims of voter fraud. So let's be clear. This is Jim Jordan in a text message to Mark Meadows saying, apologies, F the voters. They don't matter. They don't count. Just throw out Joe Biden's win and install Trump for a second term. Do we think Jim Jordan now needs to be held accountable for his conduct? To undermine the election's results? To undermine the democratic process? Oh, you bet he does. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.